Welcome everyone to round 2 of the 2024 slide style season. We are here in Red Ring and the drivers have made it out today. We are getting ready to throw down a hell of a show. Been watching these guys in practice, absolutely slaying it. I am Alex, this is SLIDESTYLE. We are on your screen and we are ready to bring you the best in freestyle tandem drifting. And if you've never seen a slide style event before, we have got a show for you today. We're going to go on and show you all of the drivers that are ready to make their way onto the course, make their qualifying runs for you guys. And if you've never seen one of our events, you say, how exactly do we qualify for something like this? How does this all work? What is it all about? Well, I'm going to tell you what it's all about. Qualifying is single car runs. These guys are all by themselves. We'll get to the tandems later. Single car runs. And in slide style, you saw it in our opening video, there's no limits, there's no zones, and there are no judges. That's right. You guys watching, if you can hear my voice, if you see Red Ring, the beautiful facility here on your screen, that means you are the judges. You guys are going to vote on these runs. You're going to give a 1 to 5 star rating. We're going to average it all up. The top 11 drivers are going to automatically advance into our tandem bracket later on this evening. Drivers that are ranked 12th through 16 are going to all line up and run again back to back. And then you guys are going to decide who is the 12th and final driver to make the bracket. We are judging these things. Well, we said judging. Hey, no judges. You could just pick your favorite if you want. However, if you're trying to call it right down the middle, we are looking for speed and angle just as always in drifting competition. But here in slide style, we are looking for flow, how effortlessly they move through the course. Edge, how far out are they right on the white line on the edge of the track? Are they scraping their bumper on the wall? Are they dragging their rear tires through the dirt? And the aggression, how hard do they attack this course with these drifting machines? So with all that being said, speaking of drifting machines, we're going to go on and take a look at the first one sitting on the starting line. Our man Damien, you guys know him well. His schedule doesn't really allow for him to make very many slide style events this year, but he is here in the server ready to make his first run of the year. But before we get into it, we've got to talk about this machine that you're looking at right here. Of course, Damien's famous S15 machine here. Showing a little love on the front bumper for myself and Rapid Fire Charlie. Appreciate Damien as always. Long-time slide style driver. These machines are 1,000 horsepower rear wheel drive race cars. Now, they can only use, this is new, due to some of the mods going on in the PC community, we can only use vanilla game parts because, of course, we are friendly to all of our console friends and we want everybody to have the same experience. 16 to 20-inch wheel diameter, 275 millimeter maximum width. All 4 wheels all the way around the machine have to be exactly the same. 110 adhesion compound. We've got some grip in these tires, 35-40% sidewall profile, minimum of 90 kilopascals, which for those who use Freedom units, that works out to about 12-13 psi, somewhere in there. And of course, these guys have to have front bumpers on the car because this is an esports situation here. So we need to make sure all of our hitboxes and whatnot are lining up correctly. So before we get started, got to do a quick check on our reset on our replay system here and make sure everything is good to go. So we'll take another look around here at Red Ring. Get everything all sorted out. I do believe we are going to be set to go here, but big shouts out to everybody in the chat. Welcome to round 2 of slide style for this season. Super excited to bring this one to you. Made some modifications. We had some technical difficulties last time around. You guys know how picky I am about all of these things. I had to make sure we button some of that stuff up. So hopefully things today, knock on wood, are a little bit smoother, because I know the drifting action is going to be anything but smooth. Qualifying is going to be wild, and as soon as we get to our tandem bracket later this evening, these guys are going to be absolutely ripping it. I already know. Your man Damien is here, got his S15 ready to rock and roll. He is the first of our first group of qualifying. Our replay should be good. We should be set up here, so we're going to be able to see his run back again and make the votes on it. We're going to find out who's going to set the bar and be the top qualifier for round 2 here in slide style. He's got the green light. Damien firing off the starting line. Let's find out what he's going to have for us here. Or not. Maybe he's keeping us in suspense. We don't know what we're going to get here. Got the green light. There he goes, taking off. Out the gate. Big angle headed into the first turn here, and we're going to come around this second hairpin, and you're going to see the first of our 2 bonus cones. We will talk more about those later on. Of course, there are no zones, as he nails right through the middle of that bonus cone. There are no zones here in slide style, but those bonus cones are something we will talk about as he comes up on the second one on the inside here. Nails it perfectly and comes through to the finish with a beautiful run there for Damien. We're taking a look at the run replay here. The vote is in the chat now, so take a look and let us know what you think about Damien's run. And I'd say he did a pretty solid job showing the course here for the first time. Beautiful, smooth run through that long, sweeping S-bend there in the middle of the track, and then followed up by a very tight S-bend, tight transition there. Whoa, the vote went, oh, hold on now. Vote went way too fast. Not everybody had a chance to vote there. So hold up just a quick second. We have a solution in place for that. Solution in place. Hold on. See that? Well, look at that. We said no technical difficulties, and here we are right off the bat with the technical difficulties. Easy solution, easy fix. We're going to get that cleaned right up. All right, so we're going to try that one more time here. We're going to reset Damien's vote. We're going to hit it one more time here. That vote is coming at you, the replay coming at you. So let's try that one more time here for Damien's run. And now I see we do have the correct time on the vote. So let us know what you think about Damien's run. Hey, maybe that was our one. We'll get that out of the way. That was our one for the day. Since we're watching the replay again, and a lot of you have already made your decision and voted on Damien's run here, and already we're right back to the exact same average that he had before, so we are all good on that regard. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you get your votes in. Taking a look here at Damien's run, we can talk a little bit about those bonus cones. As we said, no zones here in slide style, but those are a little bit of it's like dangling the carrot on the stick for the lead drivers and later on in our tandem runs, and that is a bonus additional vote that is added for those lead drivers. It does not serve any use here in qualifying. However, it does give you a good point of reference as you're watching these qualifying runs to be able to see where the car is at. As we come down to the last few seconds here on Damien's vote, sitting on a 3.6 average right now. Way to set the bar at the top of the show, looking good. As we come back around, that is going to be final. A 3.6 to start the day for Damien. We make our way back here looking at the starting line. We have a newcomer here, not a newcomer to the stream, but a newcomer to SLIDESTYLE. Our man Rocket Bunny in the server. Rocket hanging out. Been around SLIDESTYLE for a long time. Been friends with all of us here. He's actually one of the very first followers of the stream here at Alex on your screen. So huge shouts out to Rocket. He's been around for a very long time, but never really had the opportunity to participate in a SLIDESTYLE event until this year. So our man is in the server, ready to throw it down. Got this Mustang machine cooking here, even showing off the new wheels that have been added to the game. Looking good. So gonna make sure our replays are not exploding. It does not appear that they are. We might be in business. We're gonna give him the green light. Race control is gonna send Rocket rocketing away. Burning up those rear tires. Gonna get a little smoke going here as he sails it into the first turn. Big angle there early. You see him getting on the brakes in the front, locking the front of that car down as he rotates the rear. Keeping it on the outside, looking to stick on that white line. Does not get a piece of the bonus cone. Of course, like we said, does not matter for qualifying, but could be a factor later on. All the way out to the outside, swings it in, does get the second one on the inside, making his way around to the finish line. Rocket with a good showing starting off this season here in SLIDESTYLE. Vote is in the chat now. Give us your thoughts. How many stars do you rate our man Rocket's qualifying run? That car looks to be very stable, and he's able to make adjustments to the attitude of the car, even at angle. A lot of throttle control there, so that's going to be very useful to him in bracket competition later, especially in the chase position. Right now, holding level with Damien, both at a 3.6. Of course, our system calculates the averages beyond 1 decimal place, so you'll see that they are tied, but Rocket is slightly ahead of Damien. That's probably 3.67 or something like that. Coming down to the last few seconds here, looking like Rocket is going to just barely squeak into that top spot past Damien here. We'll see if that holds out. It does look like it is going to. A 3.6 here for Rocket. Coming back into the starting line here, another first-time driver in the 2024 season here of SLIDESTYLE, RGS joining in. Got the 4-door machine here. Love the design on the side of it here. Awesome looking racing machine representing Sweden there. See it right on the front windshield, and of course on our graphics here for the SLIDESTYLE stream. But we're looking to see what this car is going to do here. First full-size vehicle making a run at the course here in Red Ring. See what kind of horsepower he's got under the hood, what kind of balance he has in the setup. Taking the inside line on that turn there. Bringing it all the way through, lots of RPM in this one here. Almost opting for more of a racing line around the course here with the drifting. Not easy to do, but over-rotates it right at the finish. Unfortunate there. We get the vote in the chat. Off to a, like I said, taking the racing line, it seemed almost around this course. A high-speed run. Maybe in the lead position later on in the brackets would be looking to run away from the chase driver, get get the gap, gain the position. But unfortunately gets a piece of that curb with the front wheels and just whips him around right there at the end. Of course, there is always the last chance qualifier. You're never out of it. In slide style, you've always got a second chance to bring it back around and make something happen, both in the brackets and in qualifying. This is your first time watching a slide style event, you may find that sometime a vote does not want to appear for you if you're using a mobile app. So if you're using an Android or iOS app for Twitch, sometimes the votes do not like to come through there, so you could open the stream in your regular web browser, even on your mobile device, but just open it in a web browser and head over to the stream, and you should be able to pull up the chat and see the votes there. It's a little bit more reliable from time to time. Got to make sure your voice is heard, getting these drivers moving on and up in the event here. RGS gonna get a 1.5 for that first qualifying run. Hopefully has another opportunity as the last chance qualifier here in just a little while. Meanwhile, come back around. S15 machine sitting on the starting line for Plague here. System says he was in a Mustang. Got the Ford on there. We can sort that out. It's not what he's in. Got it updated. That's right. We got to make sure we've got the right information for the people watching here. Plague ready to throw down. Love the design on this car. Beautiful looking machine. But I do believe he is ready to set off on his qualifying run here. Got a great group of cars today, as you see the list all the way to the bottom of the screen on the left side here. Plague takes off on his run, carries a lot of momentum into the first turn. Digging the line that he's taking through there. Making his way around far on the outside of the first hairpin, does not get the bonus cone. Swinging his way around, does hit the second one. Very smooth run here for Plague as he crosses the finish. And that vote is on its way to you in the chat here. Talked about the flow through the course that we're looking for in these qualifying runs, and boy, that run certainly had it. Smooth on the steering wheel all the way through that one. Not a lot of adjustments made. You see he was able to get to that second bonus cone. And you saw the car wanted to get even a little bit of extra angle coming out of that very last turn, and he was very quickly able to make an adjustment and gather that up, no problem. This car is going to be rock solid in the chase later on. Currently sitting on a 3.6 halfway through the vote, the exact same as Rocket and Damien. Going to be tight competition for our second event of the season here. Coming down to the last few seconds here, certainly gonna be close. Is squeaking it out by, looks by 0.1 to take over the top spot with a 3.7. We'll see if any last second votes come in. No, 3.7. Where it's gonna be, putting him in the top spot here. We've had 4 drivers qualify. Plague in the top spot with a 3.7. Up next, our man Filthy rocking the Miata. Haven't seen one of these in slide style competition in a very, very long time. But if there is a course that is set up to run one of these cars, it is this one right here. And of course, that livery design on the car may look a little familiar. Tempa was running that same design last week. Got a little teammate action going on here. Solid looking racing machines. As these guys looking to make their mark the SLIDESTYLE Championship this season. Given the green light from Race Control. That short wheelbase, very small, very light car. If you get a lot of horsepower in the front of it, you can make a Miata move like no other. These guys are all just barely missing that first bonus cone. It's deceptively difficult to get to out there on the outside of that first hairpin. Second turn as we come into the finish here. Solid run for Filthy there. I'd say the opposite of his name. It was a pretty clean run. Riding that white line all the way out to the dirt actually in the first turn, but you see pulls in a little bit. He had a perfectly smooth angle heading around that first turn. But you could see where having that smooth radius does not equate grabbing that first bonus cone. One of the more difficult ones to attain this year. It's kind of a risk versus reward thing. Oh, is it worth adjusting your line to go out there and grab that one extra vote? But if it's going to be close between you and your competition, it may be worth it. About 30 seconds left to go on the vote here. Filthy looking to take the top spot with that run. People digging the Miata machine. 3.8 so far. Is it going to hold up for the last few seconds? Coming down to it here. And there it is, the 3.8. Filthy taking over the top spot. With the Miata there, looking forward to seeing if that is able to hold up or not. As we move on throughout the event, coming back to the starting line here, our man Slides hanging out. Already racked up a couple of championship points in the first event at Atron last weekend. Getting ready to throw it down here in the BMW machine. Great looking race car here. His Race Control. It's going to give him the go-ahead on the green light here. Speaking of Race Control, got to give a big shout out to Skull. That's a name you are all familiar with and have seen in SLIDESTYLE for quite a long time here. DK unable to perform those duties for us today, so thankful to him as always. As you see, Slides way out here in the dirt on the outside, is able to get that bonus cone, using up the maximum of the track there. Carrying some serious speed with this BMW machine as well. Awesome run from Slides here. But very thankful to Skull for stepping up on short notice and taking over race control duties while still competing as same way as DK always does. Thankful to him for that. And of course, as always, Wayne for making sure all the technical specs are correct on all these cars and lending a helping hand to Skull with these drivers in our race control channel. What Slides here is you'll see all the way out into the dirt, all the way out, got the back bumper on the guardrail. That's that aggression that we were talking about and doing it at a high level of speed all the way around here. Picking up both of the bonus cones on his qualifying run. Of course, no votes to be added during qualifying. But that does bode well for his bracket runs later on if he is able to qualify, which I'd say it looks pretty safe bet so far. Coming down to the last few seconds here. Is he going to be able to squeak out the top spot? Looks like he's going to land on a 3.6. Puts him good for 4th place. That's 3 drivers now at the 3.6. Plague with a 3.7, and then Filthy with a 3.8. Super, super close competition here. At Red Ring, our man Lax now, hailing from Germany, hanging out on the line in this awesome looking machine. Of course, the right-hand drive machine. Loving the way this ride looks, and I love the way this thing handles on the course. He's always got a super smooth setup. Looking to see what he's got for us here. Takes it into the first turn there, opting for the inside line, looking to set up some momentum to take on the outside of the hairpin here. Smooth arc through that hairpin as he sets up for the long swinging S-curve here. Gets out in the dirt, gets a whole lot of angle as he sweeps it all the way to the inside. All the way out to the finish. Solid run from Lax there. Watching it back, I love the setup here for this first turn. Bringing it around the inside, but you can see the amount of the way the angle of the car was set coming out of that first turn. You were seeing how he was able to build up so much speed and then maintain that speed through the hairpin, which let him absolutely tear through this big, long, sweeping right-hander. And if he does that on a lead run later on during our tandem bracket, that could make things very interesting for the chase driver, trying to keep up with that super fast Skyline machine. That vote comes to a close, a 3.3 going to be the average. Good for 6th place so far for Lax. Make our way back to the starting line here. Lax, of course, international driver from Germany. We've got Tiny from the UK hanging out. S15 machine. Loving the design on this one. Super clean, gets the job done, and this thing looks like it could carry some serious speed. Mentioned those new wheels earlier. Digging the way that they look on this ride. Interested to see how it drives. You know, Tiny always brings it. So let's see what he's got for our qualifying run. Hear how quiet that engine is. Of course, that bug in the in-car X still has not been fixed. When you're listening to that engine from a third-person perspective, it does not make a whole lot of sound, but believe me, it is absolutely screaming in Tiny's ears as he is holding the throttle down and making a beautiful run here out to the finish line, all the way out in the dirt coming across the finish. Sailed it on that one. Take a look at some of the details here, all the way out to the white line. Kicks it back around, nice and smooth out to the white line there as well. Gets that bonus cone, grinds the rail a little bit. Little Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Using up all of that sweeping right-hander, gets the other bonus cone, and then just uses up all of that last turn. I mean, he just held the throttle down as he was headed towards the finish line. Great run from Tiny here. Already looking to take the top spot. Few seconds left on the vote here. Let us know what you think about Tiny's run. Does he deserve to take that top spot? Gonna be close so far. Looks to be in a tie with Filthy. Could it be broken in the last few seconds? We wait for those votes to come in. .9. Last second vote does kick it over the edge. Tiny takes the top spot in qualifying. We're not even halfway through with our qualifying roster yet here, however. Lots of competition yet to come. Tempa sitting on the starting line. Another Skyline machine here. We mentioned earlier the same design as our man Filthy. We're going to look to see if he can put down a similar run to what Filthy did earlier and crack the top half of the field here for today's event. Race control gives him the go-ahead here. Into the first turn, throws the 360, holds it out, takes it around the first turn. Little stunt action here for you in qualifying. Pins the rear wheels of that car on the white line through that hairpin turn. Into the sweeping right-hander. Huge transition, lots of angle. You know Tempa brings the angle. Look at it in comparison to the curbing there, out to the finish, and is able to wrap it back around. What a run from Tempa. Coming into our replay there, I would have got on it a little bit earlier, but he was on such a heavy angle coming through the finish. I wanted to make sure he was able to bring it back around before we tag the replay, and we'll see that coming up here. So much angle from Tempa. We've come to expect that, and is able to get it back around. You see right at the last second, we were able to capture the 360 there. Great runs. Huge risk versus reward. You throw a 360 early in your qualifying run like that, and if you don't absolutely stamp it, your qualifying run is pretty much toast from there. It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of it. But the rewards could be huge. The car control there, but I mean, look at how smooth, just out of the gate, just whips it around in the throttle, perfectly on angle for that first turn. Absolutely incredible work from Tempa there. Already cracking a 4.0 average with a 4.1 currently. Is he going to be able to hold on to that? Great stuff out of Tempa here. That's what we love to see here in slide style. The style part is just as important as the slides. 4.1 for Tempa, gonna take over the top spot. What a run out of him. Exactly what we're looking for. But now we come back around to the starting line. Last driver of our second qualifying group, Theory. And you already know Theory is looking to bring the noise, always does. He's got a 4.1 to beat off the top. Mr. Consistency, will he show that consistency today here on Red Ring? Off the line he goes. From white line to white line, way out on the outside for that first turn. Using up all of the track here, and you see him tracing this white line, grabbing the first bonus cone, going from outside of the asphalt to outside of the asphalt in both directions, brings it back to the inside, gets this bonus cone as well. Utilizing every inch of the racing surface is Theory. The kind of qualifying run you have come to expect from from someone of Theory's driving talents. Already looking to scratch past that 4.0 average. Got a 4.1, puts him tied with Tempa. Gonna be close here, about halfway through this vote. Coming down to the last few seconds here. And it is going to be a 4.1 for Theory. It's a tie on the 4.1 for Tempa, but Tempa just edges him out past the decimal points. Great work from these guys. Tempa and Theory up top with a 4.1 as you see Han making his way to the starting line here, getting ready for his run. Awesome looking Ford Mustang machine. Repping Monster on the hood there, always a good beverage to have, you know. If they wanted us to talk more about how great of a beverage it is to have, all they got to do is call us here. We're on their screen. We can be on their screen. We're on your screen. We're on anybody's screen. Monster, just call us up. It's Han with the awesome looking racing machine. First time here in slide style competition this season. Been super awesome hanging out around practice and everything like that. So we welcome all of these new drivers this year to slide style. If you want to be part of a slide style event, make sure you throw ! slide style in the chat. That is the central hub of all things slide style, is our Discord server. All of the schedule, all of the course lines, all of the rules, the specs for the cars, everything you need to know, ! slide style, and you can be a part of an event. As Han is throwing down a killer start of a qualifying run for his first one here in Red Ring. Sailing it through that long right-hander. Coming through to the finish. What a run from Han here. Check this out. That's what we love to see. Vote is on its way at you in the chat, but that's exactly what we're talking about here. And one of the faster runs we've seen all day as well, carrying a ton of momentum through this course. Little bit of a slide style hack for you is our replays are actually tagged off of the finish. So it is a set time frame. So it is a 30-second replay, and it is, I basically try to hit it right as they cross the finish line. So a good way to know how fast a car is how far back does the replay restart right here. You'll see he's just coming off the starting line. That is how fast he was able to get through this course in comparison to some of these guys. The replay starts right before the first turn. So you can tell how much momentum he carried through the course. Great angle, great control. Awesome run from Han here. So far up to a 3.9 on the vote. Has him good for third. Will he be able to squeeze out any more votes? Does not look like he will. Gonna be officially a 3.9. Good for third place. Great qualifying run from that Mustang machine. Come around to a fan favorite here, PWX. Back in action here. Slide style unfortunately had to back out of our last event. We're glad that he is safe and sound. Everything is all good and he is back in the driver's seat. And we know this is a great course for PWX, looking to see what he is going to be bringing to the table for qualifying here. Of course, taking that S15 machine, tons of angle, getting off in the dirt, doesn't phase him, not one bit. All the way around the outside of the asphalt there, the tire tracks don't lie, getting that bonus cone. Throwing up a little dirt, little smoke. Sailing it around, huge angle around the sweeping turn into the S-curves here. All the way around the outside of that final one, something we haven't seen yet as he crosses the finish line. Solid run from PWX here. Exactly what we're looking for on all counts. And you know that's going to be a hell of a lead run later on in the show as well. Able to get both bonus cones there, but taking the outside on that last turn, harder to do than what it looked. He made it look so simple, but that is so much harder to do than what it looks to be able to maintain that angle and keep the car rotating around. We'll take another look here at it. Able to get to the inside here and then that tight transition, instead of sweeping back over to that next curb on the inside, actually keeping it on that outside line. Solid stuff there. And after this run, we will be down to only 6 more cars to qualify. Looks like he's going to land on a 3.8. 3.8 for PWX puts him good for 6th place. Super tight competition all the way through so far in this event. And you will see now on the left side of your screen that will move RGS into the last chance qualifier position. We have 11 drivers so far locked into the event, and that means with the remainder of drivers left to go in qualifying, we will start bumping drivers into that last chance bracket. And I do believe one driver will be knocked entirely out of qualifying before that last chance run. So we'll see what Cruz has got for us. You know, Cruz is always bringing it in qualifying, stamps down some pretty awesome runs. So we're going to see if he is able to bump Lax down into the last chance qualifier. Sails it into that first turn. That same motor situation we mentioned earlier is why you're not hearing a lot of screaming horsepower out of this Skyline machine. Out there all the way to the guardrail. Does pick up that first bonus cone. Will be useful later on in competition. Sails it around into the S-curve here. Smooth stuff all the way through from Cruz. Exactly what you expect from him here. That vote is on the way in the chat. Make sure you get your votes in if you can. As I said earlier, if you're not seeing the votes come through and you're on the mobile app for Twitch, sometimes you need to pull it up in a web browser to be able to more reliably see those votes. Because if you're watching along, if you're listening, we need everybody to vote. This event would not be taking place if it were not for you guys watching and playing a part in it. Big thanks to everyone for that. I see DK has decided to grace us with his presence here. As I was saying earlier on in the broadcast, DK unable to lend a hand in race control today, so Skull was able to step up and go for it here. Of course, I'm sure he will be able to jump in and lend a hand to Skull, so we appreciate. We'll have two race directors for today's festivities, as Cruz slaying his run. I mean, absolutely stamping it as we expected. That's why I didn't even need to talk about it on the replay, because it speaks for itself. A 3.7 for Cruz puts him good for 8th place. Incredibly tight competition here. Before we move on to our next run, we're going to take a look here on the left side of the screen. First place currently is a 4.1. 11th place, the final car locked in, is Damien with a 3.6. Half a point separates the entire field that is currently locked into the bracket. And we still have 5 drivers left to qualify. Our man Waifu on the line. This is another great course for him here. Just like I was saying about Cruz, a great track for Waifu and his driving style. So we are going to look to see what he is bringing to us here. But hopefully DK able to jump in on race control side of things and help our man Skull out a little bit. It's always, more hands on deck the better, as Waifu is sailing it into this first hairpin here after the first turn. Grabbing that bonus cone, looking good here. Looking to carry that momentum all the way into the S-bend at the end of the course here. That short wheelbase on this machine makes for a snappy transition. Watching it back here. Another 4-door vehicle. Not a whole lot of 4-door vehicles on this course here, but as I said, that short wheelbase is going to be pretty helpful with some of these quicker, snappier transitions. The question is going to be, does it have enough motor in it to be able to hold all the way out in the chase position behind some of these faster machines like your Mustangs and your S15s. Votes looking good right now, though. About 30 seconds left. Let us know what you think about Waifu's run here. Last couple seconds. Looks like it's going to be a 3.7. Whoa, last vote comes in. 3.6. Look at that. A 3.6 qualifying run is actually good to put you in the first spot of the last chance qualifier. Unbelievable. If you look on the left side of your screen there, a 3.6 beautiful run puts you in the last chance qualifier. That is exactly how tight competition is here in round 2 of this season of Slide Style, and we still have a few heavy hitters left. And also, DK is here and he's in the server helping out with race control. We'll have to see if he wants to pull up to the starting line. Not sure how much practice he's had, but we'll find out. I'm sure I'll get a message like, hey, let me go. Lewitt on the line right now. Loving that wild style S15 machine. Lewitt always has the beautiful designs on the ride and always lays down a beautiful run. Smooth as ever. Sticking that car on the white line around the hairpin. Does get the bonus cone. drops a gear and tears right through that long sweeping corner here, gets the S-bend, goes for that outside line as well. Like I said, a lot harder to do than it looks. Makes it look easy. The vote is on its way to you for Lewitt here. Sorry, I went quiet on you there. I did get a message from DK. He's like, I'll go for it. So our man's just waking up, rubbing his eyes, maybe grabbing some coffee. Going to pick up the controller and look to throw down a run here. And against this competition, that is a tall, tall order. And you're going to see Lewitt here going for the same type of scores that these other guys are. I mean, everybody is within half a point from each other on average. Of course, this entire qualifying field. Incredible driving out of all these guys, and any single driver could make a solid go at this one. And that is going to do it for Lewitt's score. Comes out to a 3.5, and just like we said earlier, a 3.5 is actually going to settle you into the last chance qualifier group. Incredibly tight competition here. Is J-Star sitting on the line in the Corvette machine. Awesome looking ride here, digging the design on this one. As we know, it's got the horsepower under the hood. Let's see it bring the speed and bring the noise. Is J-Star ready to launch off the line here? So much angle into that first turn. Able to hold on to it. I thought it might grip up on him there, but it did not. Able to maintain that angle all throughout. Off in the dirt here, holds on to it as well. This is a beast of a machine to hang on to, but if you can, the rewards are there with the speed. And this thing looks to have it, swinging it into the last turn and coming across the finish. Awesome run out of J-Star there for qualifying. A whole lot of horsepower to have to hold on to there. I've been lucky enough to ride alongside somebody in a Corvette drift machine such as this, and it is quite the wild experience, that is for sure. You can feel the power and weight of it in comparison to many of the other, Nissans and Toyotas you might typically see a drift car be built from, and it is a whole nother beast, but the power is there every bit of the way. You can feel it. And that car had nowhere near the 1,000 horsepower that I know J-Star has got rocking in this one. Solid run from him here. Coming down the last few seconds, let us know what you think about J-Star's run. I can't believe how stacked of a field we have here today. .3.1 for J-Star. And that is going to place him 15th, and that is going to fill up our last chance qualifier. And with 3 drivers left, that means we are going to have 3 possible drivers get bumped. Well, I say possible. 3 drivers are going to get bumped from competition here. Loving seeing these full fields for these slide style events this year. I want to thank all of these drivers for the support. Of course, we have gotten down to our final 3, which is going to be Wayne, Skull, and DK. So shouts out to these guys before we move on any further. Of course, Wayne, our technical director, making sure all of these cars are locked and loaded and within the regulations for competition, making sure everybody's all organized as we get warmed up for the event. Of course, as we said before, Skull stepped up in DK's absence and was able to make sure everything was on the tight and narrow for the event here, making sure these drivers know where they need to be, when they need to be there, doing a great job of that so far. And of course, DK jumping in the server, and I'm sure I could look over here at Race Control chat and see, yep, DK is in there and is helping out with everything. So the team of DK and Skull making sure everything running as smoothly as possible. So we couldn't do slide style without you guys watching and voting at home. We could not do slide style without these guys in the server, making sure everything runs as smoothly as possible so that we can all have some fun. So show them some love in the chat. Big thank you to these guys. And now, your 2-time slide style champion, Wayne, is sitting on the starting line, winner of the first event of this season at Atron, and he is looking to back it up, to go back-to-back championships, and then back-to-back round wins here to crack off the 2024 season. All of these other guys are looking to stop him from doing it. You see how tight qualifying is. Everybody's bringing their A game. Wayne gonna rip it into this first turn here. Lots of angle all the way from white line to white line, as we said before. Tracing this white line around as he's known to do, all the way out to the dirt. Able to pick up that bonus cone all the way out to that guardrail. Brings it around for the sweeping right-hander. Sends a huge amount of angle. Grabs that second bonus cone. Swings it around. Speedy transition. Crossing the line, little celebratory spin around there at the finish for Wayne. What a run, as we have come to expect. Great run from Wayne here. Knew it was coming, knew he was going to be tough competition. But with everybody in the field being between 0.5 of each other almost, or at least locked into the bracket is from 0.5, 4.1 to a 3.6 are the top 12 currently in qualifying. It is going to be a close one. Wayne already knocking on that same door. Probably the best first half of the course we've seen all day. I mean, all the way out to the white line, sailed the angle around, got the transition in tight, stuck it on the outside of that hairpin. Beautiful work there all the way through. Tons of angle right here as well, almost perpendicular to the white line there before he got into that final S-curve. Great stuff out of Wayne here. Let's see what his score is going to be here for our final 2 drivers. Looks like he's going to lock in a 3.8. 3.8 sets him up for 7th place. I'm telling you, the competition is some kind of tough today. Left side of your screen there, right in the middle of the field. Wayne dropping a 3.8. Can't wait to see what the bracket seating ends up being after these last 2 runs. Skull on the line. Once again, huge thank you to him for taking over duties of race control, and I'm sure him and DK are currently working it as a team right now. So thanks to those guys keeping everything running smoothly. But now it's time to strap on the helmet, get in the seat, and see what he can do with his qualifying run. You can see Wayne's tire tracks there. Skull not far off from him, making a very similar looking run, very controlled. Gets that first bonus cone. You see the scrape. Ooh, it straightened him up a little bit on the guardrail, not slowing him down a single ounce though. I mean, my man is still carrying the speed, swinging it around the final turn. in the dirt out to the finish. That's what we love to see. Great stuff here from Skull. That's what you're talking about. And I mean, to add all the stress of his first time, I mean, in last minute too, saying, oh, well, I have to do race control. How does this work? You know, you've listened to DK do it, you know, all of last year and everything like that. And DK and Akuza doing it last year for us here, but to all of a sudden, you know, it's like you know exactly what you need to do. But then when the opportunity is presented, it's like, oh, wait a minute. So that extra added stress, and then to come in here and throw down a run like this. I'm looking at the votes going on here, and I'm seeing shenanigans, because there is we'll go on and talk about it on stream. So there's a lot of obviously these guys have a lot of fun. SLIDESTYLE is really become like a family. We've got such a tight community, and you'll see the votes here. There are as many votes at 1, 2, and 3 stars as there are drivers in the competition. I think they're having some fun over there in race control. I think Skull is saying that doing race control and driving is way too stressful. Please do not vote me into this thing. So it's going to be, it was a solid run, an awesome run there, of course, from Skull. But he is, I would assume that he has requested to not move along in the event so he could focus on being race control. So these guys said, we'll do that. And awesome community here in SLIDESTYLE. And here is your man DK rocking the 370. No livery on this. This is a new racing machine for DK. Awesome group here that runs SLIDESTYLE here. So this is our last qualifying run before our last chance qualifier. Want to say a big shout out to all these drivers again for doing such a great job, as DK is ready to rock and roll here, and we will see what he is able to do. But if you want to be a part of a SLIDESTYLE event, you'd love a community like this, great group of guys to hang out and drift with, of course. ! SLIDESTYLE, take you to the official SLIDESTYLE Discord servers, the central hub of everything we've got going on. DK here is manhandling the 370 around the course here. You can hear it's got that V8 in it, so we can't hear the throttle response out of it here, but you can see the momentum and see the speed carrying it through across the finish line. Here is the run for DK. .370 there, looking to be a little, like I said, manhandling it through the course. Looked to be a little sticky. Some of the controls, the steering not reacting the way you'd expect, because you see it's like it wants to get on angle and then he pulls it back around, so it looks to straighten back out, so he's got to put it back on angle, but able to get all the way through the entire course rather smoothly, all things considered. Coming down to the last few seconds of the vote here, let us know what you think about DK's run. The 370 machine here. Coming down to the last few seconds on that one. And that is going to be at a 3.1. And that is going to put DK on the outside looking in. And that will do it. Our last chance qualifiers are going to be Damien, Waifu, Luid, Lax, and J-Star. Unfortunately, DK, Skull, and RGS unable to qualify for this event, but it is going to be Damien, Waifu, Luid, Lax, and J-Star making one more run for you guys. And you're going to decide which one you want to see join the top 11 here, heading into the breakout round of tandem bracket competition. Tempa and Theory tied first and second. Of course, Tempa locking up the top spot with a 4.1. Han with a 3.9. Tiny right behind him with the same score. Filthy, PWX, and Wayne all with 3.8s. Plague, Cruz, and Plague and Cruz with 3.7s. And Rocket and Slides filling out the bracket of 11 with a 3.6 before we get down to our final 5 drivers. These guys are getting lined up. I believe they are set up and good to go. So just to reiterate, this is how our last chance qualifier works. These guys are going to each make one single run. We're going to show the replay for a quick second to discuss anything that may have gone on and immediately go to the next driver. So make a middle note, maybe write it down. Do your own star rating on what you think each guy's run is, and then we are going to put all 5 drivers to a vote to find out who the last one is going to be to make their way into tandem bracket competition. Currently looking at the Damien machine here, ready to make his last chance qualifying run. He is all set. I believe race control is ready to go. Let's get it going. Last chance qualifiers for round 2 here in slide style. Damien is off the line here, sails it into that first turn. Taking a little bit of an alternate route through the hairpin, but making sure he grabs that bonus cone, and that actually sets him up to set the angle of the car up for this long sweeping turn here. I like the way he did that. We'll take a look at it on the replay as we come back around. Smooth out to the finish for Damien here. Look at the way he approached. So here's the first turn, pretty solid way that everyone does it here. But this second turn, you see him brake to the inside early and then swing out around the outside. But look at the way that was able to set the angle of the car up to head through this sweeping right-hander here with that transition. Good stuff out of Damien here. We'll take a look at it one more time. Waifu on deck for his last chance qualifying run. Ready to launch off here in this lot of machine. Let's see what he's got for us. Like I said, that short wheelbase, something to look out for. See how quickly that car snaps to angle and then is able to hold it. Snaps back to the other side and able to hold it out. That's what you love to see. Is able to get that bonus cone just barely. But you can see how the curb, when the front tires hit it, it looked like it wanted to bring the car around a little bit. So this car is very sensitive to the racing surface. Last chance run from Waifu here, looking solid. We take another look at it here. Going to be tough decisions here. We're only 2 runs in to our 5 last chance qualifier runs, and I already have no idea who I would pick. It's a good thing I'm not voting. And we've got 3 heavy hitters from slide style competition here left to go. These guys are well known for putting down banger qualifying runs. The competition just super, super tight this time around. As we go. That's me. Look at that. We're going to take a quick look around the facility here. Camera got shifted off of the machine it was supposed to be looking at. We look around the corner. Hey, you can see me sitting under my tent there. I'm just hanging out. Let's try this again. There's the Lewitt machine. That's the one we're looking at. Nobody wants to see my car over there hanging out. Look, I'm hanging out in the shade. I've got the air conditioning going under there, and all these guys are out here in their racing suits and their helmet burning up out here in the sun, and I'm just over there relaxing. It's unfair, but that's too bad. It's just how it is. Lewitt on the starting line, ready to rock and roll here. Last chance qualifier run coming at you. Grabbing the handbrake, getting all the way out there to the dirt is Lewitt, looking to maximize the course on his run. That's how he's looking to stand apart from these other last chance qualifying drivers, and you can see he is trying to trace the edge of this course all the way around. Let's see if he can do it all the way to the finish here. That is exactly what he is looking to do here. You can tell. Is he going to keep it to the outside? That is exactly what he was looking for. Out to the finish line. I like it. I like it a lot. Try to set yourself apart from the competition. Utilizing every bit of racing surface. Take one more look here. Using up the whole track surface, but keeping up a ton of momentum. And you can see even the suspension bouncing through the dirt off the edge of the road there didn't slow his momentum up one little bit. Taking it around the outside in that final turn. Lax on the starting line. There's nothing relaxed about this driving here. Nothing relaxing about a last chance qualifier run in slide style either. Green light given to our man Lax here off the line. You hear the horsepower screaming. And he's looking to just aggressively tackle this course. Keeping the revs up, keeping the speed up, sailing it in here. Hitting that first or second bonus cone with the rear tires there. I mean, he had that thing in deep in that first S-bend corner. Brought the aggression to a maximum. It's almost like each of these 5 drivers are utilizing one of the 5 points we mentioned at the top of the broadcast about what we're looking for in qualifying. It's like the 7 deadly sins or whatever. It's like each of these 5 drivers is trying to showcase one of those 5 points. Lax being in charge of the aggression on his run here. Jump back into our final driver, the last chance qualifier before we go to a vote to choose which of these 5 is going to take that 12th and final position in today's bracket. J-Star off the line, ready to rock here. Corvette machine underway. Sailing it all the way out to the outside. Going to throw some dirt on the first turn here. Ton of momentum headed into the hairpin. Keeps it pinned on the outside there. Is able to just barely tag that bonus cone. You hear that car wind up as it heads into the final S-bend here. Good stuff from J-Star as well. Take a look at this replay. Allow everybody to put their thinking caps on and see who they want. Moving on, is it going to be Damien, Waifu, Luid, Lax, or the man on your screen right here, J-Star in the Corvette? Moving on for that 12th and final bracket position. That vote is going to be coming at you. There you see on the left side of your screen, those are your qualifying drivers. And the 5 last chance drivers going to go to a vote. And that will be displayed at the top of your screen. Let us know which of these drivers you want to see. While the vote is going on here, want to let everybody know our next event gonna be at Silverstone in 2 weeks. Right here, Alex, on your screen, ! Slide Style, if you want to find out more about our events. And everything going on in the world of slide style. You don't have to be a driver to make some use of that. All the information you need about everything we have going on in the world of slide style is there. Schedules, course maps, our regulations for these drivers, and how our events are run. It is all there. ! Slide Style in the chat. We're coming down to it on the vote here for the last chance driver making their way into the bracket of 12. Just a few seconds left. Waifu holding the lead, but Damien not far behind. Will there be some last-second votes coming in to try to turn the tide? It will not. It will be Waifu, your last chance qualifier, making his way into the final bracket for today's event. And let's take a look at that bracket. Clean things. We got to get things squared away here. Kind of clean things up. There we go. All right. First group's going to be Tempa and Waifu. Can't wait to see that one fire off. Tons of angle versus that Lotta machine with the short wheelbase. Quick on the transition is going to be looking great. And then right off the jump, Group 2 is a banger. The rematch from last week that never got to happen. PWX facing off against Wayne. You won't want to miss that. Tiny versus Cruz, going to be an absolute banger of a run as well. Two of the more newcomers to slide style competition, Han versus Rocket. Filthy and Plague going to be facing off against each other. Followed up by two of the most consistent drivers we have, Theory and Slides. Great driving style matchups here all throughout this first breakout round. Do not go anywhere. We're going to go to a quick break. Make sure all of these drivers are geared up and ready to go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here for round 2 of the Slide Style 2024 season at Red Ring. Quick 5-minute break. Go grab your popcorn, get you something to drink, and come right back for freestyle tandem drifting, the only way that SLIDESTYLE knows how to do it. Welcome, everybody, back. SLIDESTYLE action here, round 2 at Red Ring. It has been a wild show so far with these guys. In qualifying, our entire top 12 separated by half a point in qualifying average. Awesome stuff so far as we get ready to head into the battles, our tandem bracket for this evening. Awesome song that you hear in the intro there comes from none other than Tofi. Got to give a huge thank you to her for putting that together. It is a banger of a track, and it represents us well here in SLIDESTYLE. Speaking of representing us well, you see on the left side of your screen our drivers in the top 12 here for the breakout round. Tempa and Waifu getting lined up at the starting line now, and we are going to talk about a little bit of our rules for bracket competition this evening. It's 12 drivers in a single elimination bracket, and every single pairing is decided on by you guys. If you are listening to my voice right now, you are the judges of these runs. Breakout round has 6 winners. Eliminator has 4. Contender has 2 winners that face off in the final showdown to be the event champion. Tiebreakers in the breakout and eliminator round go to the lowest seed driver. We call it the underdog rule. If there is a tie in the first 2 rounds of competition, ties go to the lower seeded driver. In the contender and breakout rounds, ties automatically trigger a one more time run. In redemption, the 3 losing drivers in the eliminator round will all go to a vote. The 2 drivers that are voted highest make their way into the redemption run. They face off against each other, and the winner of that is the 4th driver to make it to the contender round. As we head over to our starting line set up yet again here, and you are looking at Tempa versus Waifu. Reminding everyone yet again about our bonus cones before we get started on this first run. Bonus cones, new thing here in SLIDESTYLE in 2024. The lead driver, who is going to be Tempa in this first run, lead driver has the option to make sure that they hit 1 or 2 of the 2 bonus cones that are on the track, each one good for 1 additional vote added to their score after the vote concludes in Twitch chat and before any contact penalties are applied if anything happens in a run, which is not very often, but it could. So that is the process of that. You will see those updated live on your screen on the left side, as well as everything else you need to know as always throughout the event. And with all that being said, it's time to get started with some freestyle tandem drifting. Round 2 of the SLIDESTYLE 2024 season is underway. Tempa gonna be leading Waifu first. Waifu coming from the last chance qualifier here. We are gonna see what Tempa has got out the gate as they launch in side by side into the first turn. Out to the dirt is Tempa. Waifu staying right there in the pocket, matching the angle, not letting Tempa get away from him here. Grabbing that first bonus cone. This Tempa there headed towards the second one. Is he going to pick it up? He did not pick it up, but meanwhile, Waifu spinning out. Looking at the bonus cone, I noticed a Waifu leaving the shot here. As we come back in live here, we can see Waifu making his way back to the start here. Tempa grabbing 1 of the bonus cones on his run. Waifu spinning out. We will take a look at that on the replay here in just a moment, but Waifu going to be taking over the lead position, brings it back to the start, whips it around. And we will see what these guys have got for their second run. Waifu set up. Tempa starts him off. We will talk about that starting procedure in just a moment, as Waifu knows he's going to have to get away from Tempa here if he wants to stand any chance of going through to the next round. He's going to have to crush this one. Grabs that first bonus cone. Will he be able to pick up the second one? He's going to need every vote he can get here. Is able to get that second bonus cone as he comes through to the finish line, but Tempa right there in chase. That vote is making its way to you in the chat right now. See those bonus cones there up in the top as a reference of what is going to be added to those scores. Tempa looking to take a pretty solid lead here, as you see right there in the top left of your screen. Waifu just over-rotating it, not able to hold on to it. We'll get to see it again one more time here. Both lines off to a solid start. Waifu able to maintain that gap on his lead run at the beginning. Tempa able to close it back up. But we'll see here in the top left of your screen, the rear tires get off in the dirt for that Lada machine, and it comes around ever so quickly. Not much Waifu could have done there. Unfortunate situation. It is difficult to keep up with all of the angle that Tempa is able to load down. There's a reason he is the top qualifier for today's event. Speaking of the top qualifier, picking up a $10 game card for being the #1 qualifier. We'll get with him after the event, make sure that's squared away, but congratulations to Tempa for being #1 qualifier. 30 seconds left in the vote here, but it's pretty easy to see where this one is headed. Unfortunate for Waifu there. Great effort coming back in the last chance qualifier. But getting a little bit of dirt here, as you'll see on the left side of your screen, and around he goes. Tempa going to come away with the first victory of the evening and move on to the eliminator round. You'll see it is official at the top of your screen, locked in at 19-3. Tempa coming away with this one. Before we get started off on this run here, you saw on that last run there a little bit of a unique starting situation. If you're used to other drifting events, more traditional style drifting events with the cone setup that you have to drive around and both guys start at the same time. There's a starting light. There's all different kinds of things. And of course, in the virtual world, there's lots of different ways that runs get started out here in slide style. We have decided that the chase car is going to be the control car for the run. You'll see here the setup on the right side of your screen. The chase car, which is going to be Wayne in this situation, is going to roll off the line first. Then PWX, as soon as Wayne gets started rolling, P-Dub is going to take off and overtake him on the outside, and they will both initiate into the first turn side by side. These guys are locked in and ready to go. Cleared by race control they will be. And PWX versus Wayne, the rematch of the run we did not get to see last week. We'll see it today. PWX sailing into that first turn. You know Wayne is going to be right on his door, not going to let him go anywhere here. All the way up to the front tire is Wayne. Little contact there. We love to see PWX grabbing the first bonus cone. Gets a big hop off the curb, whips that car around. Look at the aggression from both of these guys. Second bonus cone locked up for P-Dub as they come across the line side by side. Heading back to the start here as we look around the beautiful facility at Red Ring here. Guys getting themselves set up. Wayne going to be on the lead this time by as they get up to the start. And they are geared up and ready to go here. Control car going to be PWX on the start. Off the line he goes. Wayne to the outside. They both kick into the first turn beautifully side by side. Oh! PWX straightens up, makes contact with the door of Wayne, gets him out to the outside in the dirt, but they're both holding on here. We'll have to see what happened there on the replays. They make their way around. You know Wayne is going to pick up that first bonus cone. PWX staying right on him in transition across the rear bumper there. Second bonus cone successful. Crossing the line. Wayne and PWX. We've got to see what happened on that replay. Bottom right of your screen as well, you'll see that car just grabbed up on him. It did not want to hold angle on that initiation and just gripped up and turned to the side. We'll take one more look at it here. You see him kick the car out and it just grabbed up and turned in on him. Wayne did a great job. I mean, he got a whole front bumper right in the passenger door. Did a great job holding onto that car even out into the dirt. And then both of these guys, of course, both runs absolutely phenomenal to watch. Both drivers managing to pick up both of the bonus cones here, so those will cancel out as far as the votes are concerned. But you always got to love it in a slide style event when Wayne and PWX are going to face off, two rivals here in slide style. PWX already stated he's looking for the championship this year, but it does not look like he is off to the greatest start of the season. Going to have his work cut out for him here for the rest of the year. Definitely easily doable. Point situation very similar to Formula One, the way things are set up. We do offer some points for qualifying positions as well, though. Exclamation point slide style. You can check out the regulations there. Everything is all laid out for you. But just qualifying well and finishing high in one event can change your entire season around here. So it does look like Wayne gonna be coming away with this one. Great runs from both of these guys, though. That is exactly what we love to see here in slide style competition. Tiny and Cruz on the starting line. Geared up and ready to roll here. Tiny going to be on the lead for the first run. Cruz going to be chasing him down here. Cruz will be the control car for the start. They let each other know they're ready to rock. Perfect start for these two heading into the first turn. Door to door they are. I think Cruz was expecting a little bit more speed out of Tiny here, but managing to stay off of him all the way through. First bonus cone is successful for Tiny. Oh, getting off in the dirt. Tiny spins it around. Not what you want to see. Spinning that car around, same way as Waifu did earlier. That dirt will reach out and grab you there. Hate to see it, but as we always say, here in slide style, you definitely never ever want to give up because you never know what is going to happen next. It's happened to Waifu. It's happened to Tiny. It could happen to Cruz on this run. Don't want to put that bad juju on him, but it could happen in this run. These guys are lined back up, ready to go again, but never ever give up. Tiny's going to be in the chase. He will be the control car for the start. You know, Cruz is looking to put that horsepower to good work and try to put some distance between him and Tiny here. But Tiny knows he's got to stay on that door. Already going for the aggressive initiation into the first turn was Tiny there. Didn't work out for him, but already made it back to the door of Cruz here. First bonus cone locked in for Cruz. Tiny staying right with him here in the chase, not letting him get far away. Second bonus cone easily grabbed there. Cruz locking it in as he comes across the finish here. And the vote comes across in the chat for you guys right now. Top left of your screen, I can never talk for these slide style events. I get so excited. Top left of your screen, you'll see the rear end get off in the dirt here, and he tries to collect it, couldn't do it. Cruz even trying to help him out a little bit. As we'll see it one more time here. Trying to help out almost was Cruz there. I mean, maybe not intentionally trying to help him out, but like you could see with the contact made between the two, he was like, you can straighten it out, you can straighten it out, but he just couldn't do it. That thing started rotating, and on the way around it went. Minute left to go in the vote here, but this one is a pretty much a foregone conclusion here. Outside of that incident, though, don't want to take away from anything else going on in both of these runs here. Outside of that one incident, I mean, absolutely brilliant lead run we watch from Cruz here in the bottom right. Incredibly smooth all the way through. Very predictable as well for a chase driver to work around. It's like giving him the perfect canvas to paint off of. And Tiny was definitely doing some painting, that is for sure. But looping that car around, unfortunately, going to mean he is not going to be moving forward in slide style competition here in round 2. Cruz is official, grabbing the win. Bonus cones applied, 18-2, moving on into the eliminator round. Coming back around, taking a look at Han and Rocket hanging out on the starting line. Two relative newcomers here to slide style competition, going to be facing off against each other door to door. Let's find out who's going to move on to the eliminator round. Rocket on the control of the start. Great start from these two here. Matching the angle into that first turn. Rocket looking to stay in close proximity here. Digging up to the inside here. First bonus cone grabbed by Han. Right across the back bumper is Rocket. Second bonus cone picked up here. Beautiful looking lead and chase run. Awesome stuff from these two. They head back around to the starting line for their second run. Rocket will be moving over to the lead position. And a little Mustang on Mustang violence here. You see these guys pulling back up to the line here. Set and ready to go. Rocket gonna be on the lead. That means Han in control of the start. Door to door, they head down into the first turn here, side by side. Little contact made nose to nose as they head through the first turn here. Rocket looking to take that momentum line we talked about earlier. Does grab the first bonus cone. Carries that speed into the sweeping right-hander. But Han right there with him on the door. Second bonus cone is a success. Coming across the finish line. Beautiful runs from both of these guys. Gonna be a tough vote there. great job from both of these drivers here. We're going to look at the beginning of that second run to see there was a little bit of contact off the nose. It looked like right going into transition. Both guys able to hold on to it. Didn't seem to phase Rocket at all. They may not. It may have just been the camera angle. They may not have touched at all. See Han staying right in the pocket, right against the door there. On his lead run, able to get a little bit more space in between the two. But great chases from both drivers here. Of course, for those that may not have seen very much slide style competition, the focus of these runs is more on the chase driver than you would traditionally see because of the fact there are no zones. Of course, we have our cones that are there optionally for these drivers to aim for, but there are no zones, so the lead driver free to go wherever they want. You see here, bottom right of your screen, Rocket taking a little bit more of an inside line, and Han having to anticipate that and work along with it. So the focus of the runs really is on the chase driver in their proximity to the lead car and how they manage the angle and anticipating those moves. And that is why we added those bonus cones, so that way we don't forget about the lead car. Give them a little something to hunt for, a little something for us to talk about on a lead run. As it does look like Han is going to be moving forward here. Bonus cones applied to the votes, and the Mustang of Han will be moving forward, and the Mustang of Rocket will unfortunately be heading to the trailer. Great runs from both of those guys. Coming back around here, Filthy and Plague on the starting line. Ready to rock and roll here. As I do believe, yep, everything is set up, ready to go. Race control going to give them the go-ahead here. The S15 versus the Miata. Should be an interesting one here. Plague going to be in the chase position. He has control of the start. Tons of speed headed into the first turn, but getting off in the dirt, that slowed him down. He wasn't able to grip up. Little contact with the rear bumper there. No harm, no foul from Plague. Still staying right in the door. Not getting that first bonus cone was Filthy. Off in the dirt again with Plague this time instead of Filthy. Is able to grab the second bonus cone. Coming across on the finish there. These guys make their way back to the line here. Filthy and Plague getting lined up. Plague gonna be on the lead this time. Filthy getting control of the start. Both of those guys getting off into the dirt, losing a little bit of momentum last time. We'll see what happens on the flip side here. Heading into the first turn, great start. Plague diving it in there on the inside here. Filthy looking to stay with him, able to dig right back up to him. Just barely touching that first cone was Plague. As they swing around, will he get the second? Is able to pick up the second one, carrying so much speed. As that vote is headed to you here. Gonna double check on this first cone here for Plague just to make sure before discussing more of these runs. Ooh, that was so close. That camera angle does not make it the easiest to pick up that cone. Definitely got the second one, no questions there. Take one more look at that as well. Also, you got to see, I mean, the proximity these guys in the chase were able to, even in crazy conditions, these guys were able to maintain. We're going to look at the tire tracks here to see this cone. Yeah, he just barely touched it. Just barely touched it. So that's going to be 2 bonus cones for Plague, 1 for Filthy. You'll see as he very definitely grabs his right through the door on Filthy's lead run there. Little bit of a shunt in the rear bumper from Plague after, like I said, Filthy got off in the dirt on the outside, slowed his momentum down a little bit. Plague did a great job anticipating that. But that loss in momentum sent him almost into the rear bumper there, and Filthy not bothered by it at all. You'll see here, top left of your screen, as that momentum gets slowed down, a little bit of a kick there, a little bit of a thump there. Filthy's it don't bother me, I'm gonna keep it rolling. Plague staying there with him, bouncing across the curve. This was an aggressive run from both of these guys. Love to see it. Last couple seconds here on the vote. Bonus cones added up, and it is going to be 13-10. Filthy taking the win, moving on to the eliminator round. Great run from Plague. Unfortunately not moving on as we slide back over to the starting line. Our final pairing of the breakout round going to be Theory versus Slide. Super excited to see how this one shakes out, as we are ready to rock and roll here. Everything is all set. Slide's going to be the control car. It's rolling. Theory is right to his outside. They are going to be side by side in this first turn. I knew this was going to be a solid pairing here. Theory picking up a little speed. Slide's going to have to get back to him here. You know he's not going to let him run away. Dives it in on the hairpin. First bonus cone picked up by Theory. Trying to walk away from Slides a little bit here. Slides in transition, not going to let it happen. Sends it all the way back up to the door. Second bonus cone picked up by Theory. And hitting the line with a little bit of space to spare behind him there. Going to be interesting to see what Slides does to build that space on his lead run to keep Theory in the rearview mirror. These guys make their way back over to the starting line here. Set up and ready to go here. For both bonus cones for Theory. Will Slides be able to grab both of them and nullify those extra votes? Let's find out. Theory on control of the start. Another side-by-side start into the first turn, though. Theory got a little off the rotation, but I mean, able to bring that car right back to the door. Slides here, gonna be glued right to him all the way through. First bonus cone definitely picked up there. Sparks off the guardrail. Slides doing everything he can to get away from Theory here. Theory not letting him go anywhere. Beautiful stuff from both of these guys. Awesome second run. And that is going to bring you the vote for the last pairing of the breakout round. Never ever get tired of watching these guys. I wish I had half the driving skill as our entire roster here in SLIDESTYLE. See both drivers picking up those first and second bonus cones here, so those votes are going to nullify themselves. Just taking a look here, as far as the lead runs go, you can almost throw them out the window because they were both perfect. From both of these guys, incredible lead runs. And the chasing action where it's at here. Slide showing a lot more angle in the chase, but Theory keeping the proximity tight. So I guess it's really down to your preference as a viewer of what you want to see more of going forward. Competition. Coming down to the last few seconds here, and Theory is holding on to a rock-solid lead here. It looks like proximity, the name of the game for the fans watching along today. And that is it. Theory going to be taking that last spot going into the Eliminator round. Coming back to our live view here, looking at our first pairing on track already. Thanks again to the great work from Skull and DK, making sure these guys are knowing where they need to be when they need to be. Making our events run smoothly and not taking up a whole lot of your Sunday evening. Want to make sure that we're only on your screen for we want to be on your screen, but only for a short period of time. We're going to have our fun and then cut you loose on the weekend to enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully the weather is nice wherever you are in the world. We have drivers here, of course, from all over the world. Part of SLIDESTYLE here. Tempa and Wayne, two of those drivers, ready to face off against each other. Of course, Wayne going to be the control car on the start. Now you see there on the left side of your screen at the bottom, you see an empty pairing. That is the redemption pairing. The three drivers that do not make it through this round of competition on votes will go to another vote, and you guys will decide between those three, who do you want to see face off against each other for the last spot headed into the final four, which is the contender round. But before we get there, Tempa versus Wayne. Gotta get it started. These guys are ready to roll. We are ready to roll. Tempa gonna be on the lead for the first run. This should be a wild one. Sailing it into the first corner here. Ton of angle out of Tempa, exactly what we expect. But Wayne gluing himself to the door, exactly what we expect from him. Front wheel to front wheel, both wheels touching. I do not think Tempa got that first bonus cone. We'll look on the replay later to ensure that. I do not believe he did. Second one he is going to pick up. Tons of pressure from Wayne there as they come across the finish. These guys are headed back to the starting line here. All set and ready to go. Once again, I will double check on the replay before we make a final call on that first bonus cone for Tempa. So far, we have him down for one. Wayne going to be on the lead this time around. Tempa is the control car for the start. He gets rolling. Wayne moving on the outside. Wayne had that proximity in the chase. Is Tempa going to be able to match it here? Got his work cut out for him. Drives it in deep, trying to get back to Wayne here. Wayne picking up that bonus cone emphatically there, halfway through the door on that car. Will he get the second one? I do believe he will. Beautiful run there to the finish. Tempa having a little trouble keeping up with the speed. Let's get the vote going. See if we can help Tempa out with that first bonus cone a little bit. Incredible angle from him on his lead run as expected, though. We'll look here for that bonus cone. Oh yeah, definitely tags it with the rear bumper there. So that will be added to his score after the vote here. See, they're very similar runs across both of these replays. Tempa had some more angle on the lead, as you'd expect, but Wayne bringing the proximity game as always. Let us know who you want to see moving forward into the contender round between Wayne and Tempa, and of course, not to fear, the driver that does not win does have the opportunity to gain redemption before the end of the round is over. Votes are pretty close so far here. Both drivers gaining both bonus cones there. They are going to cancel each other out, so it is down to you. If you can hear my voice, it is your decision on who is going to be moving on. Sometimes it's like looking at a piece of artwork. You know, it's like you're standing in a museum. I'm just sitting back and just watching these guys. Incredible driving, comes down to it, so close. Wayne, by 2 votes, going to grab the win over Tempa. But don't worry, Tempa will be making his way into that redemption vote here in just a little while. Sitting on the starting line now, Han versus Cruz. I'm expecting this to be quite the side-by-side matchup for these two. Interested to see how this one is going to shake out. These guys are ready to roll here. Who is going to be moving on and facing Wayne in the contender round? I don't know if you even want to win this one. Have to contend with that. But if there's anybody that can take it to Wayne, it's these two door to door here through the first turn. Cruz bringing that speed. Han not letting him go anywhere. Cruz over rotating it there. Han having to check up as well, not getting the first bonus cone. They both have to gather it up here. Off in the dirt now is Cruz, sends him out to the outside, not going to get either of the bonus cones. Unfortunate there for Cruz. That is an opportunity. Han could go up by 2 votes just on bonus cones here. As these drivers make their way back around, swapping lead and chase position, and get ready to fire off on their second run. Han going to be your lead car this next time around. Cruz going to be in control of the start. These guys pull up, ready to go here. Given the green light, they let each other know they're good. Cruz gets rolling. Han on the outside, taking over that lead position. Will he be able to pick up the bonus cones for that advantage? Great angle on the start, but you know Cruz is going to stay right there with him, keeping the proximity ever so close. Right on the door. Han does get that first bonus cone. Cruz staying right with him. Incredible chase from Cruz here, but Han does pick up both bonus cones. Huge advantage there to the last turn. But Cruz with an absolutely incredible chase. This is going to be a tough call here for those watching along. Little bit of over rotation there from Cruz on his lead run. Han, of course, checking up to not make major contact. Cruz slinging some serious angle there for the remainder of that run because he knew he needed to make up for it. But I mean, Han both in the lead and chase position. Look at the lead on his second run, bottom right of your screen here. We had talked about it earlier during qualifying, how smooth of a lead that he was going to throw down, and he has been doing exactly that. Picking up both bonus cones as well. Going to give him an additional 2 votes here. 30 seconds left on the vote. This one's going to be a close one between these two. Han with the early lead, looking to hold on to it here. First time competing in slide style here in 2024. Newcomer this season, of course, Cruz last season, picking up his first win in slide style. And we'll be headed to that course here in 2 weeks. Going to be headed to Springstone. We'll show you the schedule here in just a moment so you can mark your calendars. And this vote comes to a close. Han going to be grabbing the win here. Cruz will have to go to the redemption vote. Heading back to our starting line here. Filthy versus Theory. This is going to be an interesting one here. I don't even know how to prep for this one. I just know this is going to be a wild ride, so get ready for it. Hopefully you grabbed the popcorn earlier. This is going to be one. Theory in control of the start. He rolls forward. Filthy going to take over. See the size difference in these vehicles here. Theory looking to stay in tight in the chase position. Filthy definitely getting every bit of that first bonus cone. Carrying so much speed in that Miata. Able to get the second cone as well. Coming to the finish here. As they head back to the starting line, the final run of the eliminator round here before we decide who is going to be headed for redemption. They both slide back into position here. Filthy going to be on the chase. He's getting making a seat or a steering wheel adjustment there, making sure he is all set and ready to go. He is now on the line, ready to lock it up. Do believe he is set to go. He is the control car for the start, so he gets to decide when these two pull off the line. Theory says he's ready to rock. Filthy gets rolling. We are underway. Theory going to look to carry as much speed as he can here, but Filthy not going to let him just walk away with it. Staying in tight on the transition across the back bumper. They're up to the front wheel as Filthy on the chase. Theory grabbing that first bonus cone. Will he be able to get the second one and cancel out? Filthy not letting Theory go anywhere. Theory getting the front bumper off the wall, grabbing every bit of that bonus cone and hitting the finish line. What a chase from Filthy, sticking with him all the way through. Theory getting in so close on that inside. He might have even touched that inside guardrail on his lead run. I'll have to watch that one back again. I see the votes are not updating on the screen at the moment. Not sure what the situation is there. I do see... Oh, did the vote not come through? I don't believe the vote has come. I don't believe a vote has come through at all. See if we can't get that sorted here. Trying to look and see what's going on with the pole situation here. There we go. Looks like the vote has maybe lagged itself out, so we're gonna give it another shot here. See if we can get this one going. Oh, if there's any two runs we're gonna watch over and over and over again on our replay, these are the two to do it with. Now we have a vote. Let us know between these two who you want to see move on. And the driver that doesn't move on will go to a vote and be up against Tempa and Cruz to find out who we're going to see facing off in the redemption pairing. I usually avoid talking about viewership while streaming just as a general rule, but I did notice that vote did not go through when I sent it. A bunch of frames were dropped from my streaming software, and our viewer count dropped by more than half, all at the same time. So I do believe Twitch just had a pretty solid burp there on their server side of things. So if you can still hear me, if you're still watching along, give the old stream a refresh, give your chat a refresh, make sure that the rest of the votes do continue to come up, because everything seems to be nominal again as it was prior. Our friends at Twitch experiencing a bit of a hiccup there, I do believe. But I think we're back up to speed here. Couple seconds left on the vote here. Both of these drivers getting both bonus cones, so it is going to come down. Theory getting one last vote at the end. The bonus cones applied. Theory grabbing the victory, moving on, and we have our three drivers set to go for the Eliminator round redemption pairing. So we see Wayne, Han, and Theory will be moving on. That leaves Tempa, Cruz, and Filthy to be your drivers going up for redemption. So hopefully this vote plays a little bit more friendly with us here. It did not, so we will see if we can't find out there's something going on with the votes on Twitch at the moment. All right, bear with us here while we see if we can't get this one figured out. While we're looking into getting the redemption vote locked and loaded here, our event calendar coming at you. Silverstone going to be up next. That's May 5th. Make sure you're here for that one. That is going to be an absolute showdown. Super high speed course there. That one is a ton of fun. I believe we may have solved our vote problem here coming up. After that, going to be St. Petersburg, May 19th, and Maranello, June 2nd, Los Angeles, June 16th, before our summer break All of those events, barring future announcement, are at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All that information found at !SlideStyle. Definitely take a look there if you are interested in our events, either watching or driving. Of course, we're open to all drivers on PC and console. We welcome everybody of any skill level. It's all about having fun here at SlideStyle. Great community. Would love to have you come join us. As we're going to fire off this redemption vote yet again. Let's give it a shot here. See if it's going to work for us. It does. We are cooking here. We are in business. Tempa, Cruz, and Filthy. Well, I say that, and then here on your screen, you can't see it, right? Let's see if we can't square that away quickly as well. You can see the number of votes, but you can't see who they're for. Twitch not being very friendly with us on the return data, it would appear. Well, I'll keep you updated radio style here. How about that? So far, we've got Tempa in the lead with 7 votes. Cruz holding up second with 3. And Filthy now has 3 votes to his name. Going to be close coming down to it here. Let us know which of these drivers you want to see facing off against each other here yet again to move into the contender round. So you'll see there Tempa, Cruz, and Filthy facing off in the vote right now. Tempa holding the lead. Who will he be facing off against within the redemption pairing? You will find out in just a second. Apparently nobody gets Oh boy. All right, let's see if we can't do this one again here. All right, well, the junk data returning itself from Twitch's votes now that, because Twitch is having some serious problem. I was getting all kinds of error messages. The vote was happening, but the return data coming back from Twitch to my system was just broken and throwing all kinds of error messages and everything. So I am going to have to make a quick update to fix some things on my side. So don't go anywhere. Redemption action is going to be coming at you here in just a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We will be right. All right, welcome back, everybody. Able to get the voting situation sorted out. Kind of had to do things a little bit manually. Hopefully that's not a problem moving forward for the remainder of the event here, but only a handful of votes left to go for the rest of the night. You are currently looking at the 2 redemption drivers. We're going to get the scoring up on the left side of your screen, or not. as I was saying, we'll go on and get the scoring up on the left side of your screen. Tempa facing off against a teammate here. Look at these two twin cars. Filthy going to be taking that second spot. Now, you may be wondering, you can see the vote in the chat, obviously. It was a tie. Obviously, Tempa took the top spot in the votes, but then a tie between Cruz and Filthy. And as we said at the top of the show, in the breakout and eliminator rounds, all ties go to the lower seeded driver. Filthy being the lower seeded driver in the vote here between these three. So that tiebreaker goes to the underdog, the lower seeded driver, and we have the face-off of Tempa versus Filthy for redemption. Who's going to be the final driver heading into the contender round and facing off against Theory? Will it be Tempa or will it be Filthy yet again, looking for a little bit of revenge? We'll find out. These guys all set, ready to rock and roll here. Tempa facing off against Team Driver. Filthy on the chase, roll off. Very different cars here, very different size. Filthy's car wanted to grab up on him a little bit. The Tempa sent it way out to the outside, giving Filthy the opportunity to get right back to him here. Tempa hitting that first bonus cone on the outside. Filthy not letting him get away. He lost a little ground to him earlier, not letting him get away this time. Staying right with him there, missing the second bonus cone as Tempa off the nose. And they come through the finish side by side. Only one bonus cone for Tempa there. Missing the second one just off the nose of the car by just a little bit. So now you see Filthy taking that lead position. Tempa ready to rock and roll, in control to start on the inside, head into the first turn. Who is going to be the final driver making their way into the final four, the contender round? Off into the dirt just like Tempa was the round before, or the run before. Side by side gets that first bonus cone. Oh, these runs are going to look like identical twins. It's going to be hard to tell with the same livery on the car. Will Filthy be able to get the bonus? No, and he spins it out. He spins the car around. Oh, no. And the Twitch votes are just not having it today. We do have, well, I am seeing a vote now. Not sure exactly. I don't think anybody can really see that. It's only got 2 votes on it so far. All right, so we'll end the poll. Definitely a situation going on with Twitch right now. Give it another shot here. All right, that poll hit just like it was supposed to. We are good to go here. Let us know in the votes who you want to see moving forward. We'll take a look at the replay here. Tempa, you see in the top left, getting off in the dirt. Bottom right, Filthy doing the exact same thing on his run in transition. Like I said, these runs, they look like twins. Both getting that first bonus cone, and you will see here, bottom right of your screen, off in the dirt. Gets a lot of angle in it, and the car just sends itself around. He couldn't escape back out of that spin. Unfortunate for Filthy there. Great runs for both of these guys. But the first half of the run genuinely looked like the exact same run from both of these guys. Awesome stuff. Just had so much angle and speed in it, couldn't get it back out of it. The rear tires would not grip up enough to drive that car back off of angle. Appreciate everybody bearing with us on the Twitch voting situation here. We'll get that somewhat squared away, but let you see behind the curtain a little bit. I have some logging and everything going on with my program in the background, and it's the last 3 votes. As soon as I fired off the first vote, it was giving me a 403 bad request error in return, like immediately, and then I would just cancel it and send another one, and it would work fine. So that tells you Twitch's servers are acting crazy, but they ain't stopping us here in SLIDESTYLE. Tempa moving on to the contender round, and we have our contender round pairings ready to go. In the first one, already on the line here, you are looking at Wayne and Han. I am so excited for this pair of drivers to fire off the line here against each other. Wayne going to be in the lead. Han has control of the start in the chase position. If he can stay on that door of Wayne in the chase, Wayne's going to have his work cut out for him for sure, because Han has been throwing down the leads all day long. First pairing of the contender round is off. Great start from these two. Wayne looking to initiate early, get some angle in here on the first turn. Han going to be right there with him all the way through. Wayne hasn't missed his first bonus cone yet all day. Han staying right on the door here. Little tap, letting Wayne know he's there, giving him a taste of his own medicine. Staying with him all the way through. Wayne gets the second bonus cone. Great run here from these two drivers. They make their way back to the start. Get lined up side by side here, get squared away. They are ready to roll. Han gonna be in the lead, Wayne in control of the start. Who's gonna be moving to the showdown round? Let's find out. They are right door to door on the first corner here. Wayne staying stuck right to him, right across the back bumper, but Han, another perfectly smooth lead so far, grabs that first bonus cone, just scrapes it with the rear bumper, swings through. Perfect transition, picks up the second one as well. It's down to the vote because the cones cancel out. And that is gonna do it for our first pairing of the contender round here. What a run from both of these guys. And that vote looks like it wants to cooperate. Twitch knows good drifting. When it sees it, it wants to make sure it's helping us out. Absolutely stellar driving from both of these guys. I mean, you can see they're almost identical in proximity and angle in the chase on both of these replay views. But to be in your rookie year, first season of slide style competition, and to have a run like that, both lead and chase against two-time slide style champion Wayne and the winner of last weekend's event. I mean, that says something in itself right there, regardless of where the votes play out. Han is a winner in everyone's eyes here. That's what it's all about. One thing I will always say about Wayne in the chase is pressure. He puts so much pressure on the lead driver. It's trying to force them into making a mistake. And Han just held on all the way through it here. "20 seconds to go on the vote. Are we set to see a major upset here in slide style? Rookie driver gonna take out the two-time champion. Coming down to it. If you haven't voted yet, now is your chance. Let your voice be heard. But the voices seem to say in unison that Han is gonna take down the giant and move into his first showdown here in slide style. Congratulations to Han, and we're gonna find out right now who he's gonna be facing off against. Theory and Tempa on the line, ready to make their way into the finals as well. Both of these guys would love to see a final showdown round here in slide style this season. They are clearing away, ready to roll. Tempa launches off. Theory gonna be on the outside on the lead. Heading into the first turn. Theory carrying lots of speed, but you know Tempa gonna be on angle. I'm so excited I can't talk. Theory grabs that first bonus cone. Even in the chase position, he's putting on hella angle. Theory putting some angle of his own down as he grabs that bonus cone and crosses the finish. Great work from these guys. Heading back down to the finish, Theory's got the advantage so far. 2 bonus cones. Tempa gonna have to grab both of them to cancel it out. As these drivers are lined back up at the start. We're gonna find out who is facing off against Han in the final. You know the angle's coming from Tempa, and he is bringing it, but Theory matching it off in the dirt. Theory able to anticipate and stay off of him here up to the front wheel. Tempa not slowing up a bit, misses the first bonus cone. That gives Theory at least 1 vote advantage. Will he give him the second one? But you see almost perpendicular to the white line, so much angle out of Tempa. Does get that second bonus cone. Crazy angle even coming through the finish. Vote is in the chat now. Take a look at these runs. Off in the dirt goes Tempa on his lead. Theory able to gather it up and get slowed down so he didn't make contact, and then the 2 of them were just absolutely glued to each other from there. But even as you watch lead and chase run for Theory here, if you imagine that Tempa is not there, like if blue is invisible to you, notice how they're almost the exact same run. I've said it every time, I'll say it to the end of time, Mr. Consistency. But no matter the pressure that Theory was putting on in the chase, Tempa did not let it bother him. I can't believe how much angle. I will never get tired of that. We'll call this man the Protractor. The Protractor versus Mr. Consistency. Kurt Angle, we'll call him Kurt Angle. Let us know who you want to see facing off against Han in the finals. Will Theory make it to the showdown, or will we have an opportunity to see a first-time winner in slide style between Tempa and Han? Cannot wait. Last few seconds on the vote here. It's gonna come down. We get the bonus cones in, and it's gonna be Tempa over Theory, and we have our finals set. Han versus Tempa for the showdown round. First time winner coming your way in 2024 for round 2 of slide style as these two get set up on the line. Going to be an absolute banger here for a final run. Han versus Tempa. Han going to be on the lead. Of course, that means Tempa in control of the start. These guys given the clear from race control. They let each other know they're ready to rock. We've got a new winner coming at you. Who's it gonna be? Huge angle, of course, into the first turn. You come to expect it from these two. Han with that beautiful starting run, just as he's been doing all night long. First bonus cone, grabs it no problem. But Tempa right there on the door, transition across the rear bumper, matching the angle. Second cone grabbed by Han here. Smooth run across the finish line. As these guys switch lead and chase positions, get back to the starting line. Ready to rock here. Final run of the night for round 2 here in slide style this season. Ready for the fireworks here as these guys are set to fire off the line. Han in control of the start. Oh, Tempa jumped early there. Tempa jumped way early. And then the spin out. Oh no! Unfortunate jumps to start early. Is Han gonna let him get back to the leader? Is he gonna chase him through to the finish here? So unfortunate for Tempa. Do you think the nerves got to him? We're not sure. The vote gonna come at you here. You'll see early in the replay there, jump in the start is Tempa, and then just over-rotated it. Han continuing on with the run. As you should. Doing what you need to do. Incredible stuff here all day long. Unfortunate situation there, spinning out in the first turn of the last run for Tempa. As that vote is coming to a close here. 30 seconds to go. come back to our live view here, we see Han and Tempa set up here. Who is it going to be between these two as it comes down to the last couple of seconds on the vote? It does look like, with the unfortunate rotation there out of Tempa, first time slide style winner in his rookie season, Han coming away with the victory in his Mustang machine. Huge congratulations to Han on the win. Great runs from both of these guys. Tempa making it through redemption to get back to the final showdown. But Han, this RTR styled Mustang machine, beautiful looking ride, is going to be your event winner. Gotta have a huge shout out here for everyone that was a part of this event. All of these drivers, thank you guys so much for being a part of it, helping out with everything when we weren't sure about the race control situation. Skull stepping up and saying, I'll take care of it. Did a great job to start out. DK able to jump in and finish out the show. Wayne, as always, our technical director, making sure all these drivers have their cars set up the right way, doing what they are supposed to do, and everybody watching along at home voting these drivers to the finish. And you guys took Han to the victory. Gonna win $20 game card. I'll have to get with him on how he wants that sorted out. Big shouts out to everyone involved in the event today, but that is going to do it for us here in SLIDESTYLE. I have been Alex. SLIDESTYLE has been on your screen. We will be back in 2 weeks at Silverstone. Come join us, and until next time, everyone be safe, and we'll see you next time we get sideways.